Alrighty, good morning everyone. Finally getting around some Defo. Dare Defy Nyx 5. I'm going to be doing another duo. I know the last, 3 uploads now have been duos. And really that's just because, I'm trying to conserve my... I've been looking through my roster and I think I'm going to end up with a pretty powerful roster for the last, Dare Defy. And, those should be interesting, using all those units. But for now, just using, Squall, he's an alright unit, he wasn't that bad, but in terms of damage dealer, he was very selfish, and he kind of, in my opinion, just kind of got outclassed. That's just the nature of damage dealers. More banners pop up, more damage comes along, and it's kind of hard to stay relevant. When all these damage dealers, Astos, come in and really just hog the spotlight. A little unfortunate. But Squall himself he's like a pretty alright unit in terms of the damage department, nothing crazy or anything, but he definitely can get the job done. And in this fight in particular, actually I wanted to do Rift by one more time. They do feature a few mechanics that feature, I think this is Arenea's fight, because they want crit damage and that comes off her debuff, but we actually brought Saz Call to actually handle that mechanic, because it's going to come up in just a bit. I believe they do it twice for their force gauge. And if you can't actually deal with them, or with their crits, then they actually do heal to full, and it's basically just a run restart. So, you do want to make sure you're able to crit, whether it be by breaking them, whether it be by some other means like I just did now. Okay, see, this crit buff right here, I have to make sure that doesn't fall off. Because Squall does have a few moves in his kit that can actually make it fall off. Is there a Renzuken? Max Brave up and attack up. Yeah, we want Solitary Lion. That's what we want. Solid Barrel here. And that's basically just so we can keep those criticals. Even though we're doing a 0 Bravery, because we did that, we can actually do what we need to. And here, we are close to Rydia. The thing is, we might be close to Force Time too. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and let's hold off on that. I was half tempted to go for BT effect. And actually I should be breaking them out of order, just so I can get used to that going forward, because we are gonna be wanting these guys to take a little bit of turns just so they can actually buff up Rydia's force gauge. And I think the issue with Squall as a damage dealer in Dare Defy is you kind of need him. Or you kind of need the supporting party to really be going ham, buffing up the gauge, so when he goes into a burst phase, it's just crazy big damage and he's just doing EX all day, at super high numbers. But I think it's kind of hard to do that in Dare Defy when you want to spread your echoes pretty sparsely. You don't want to go super ham with it. But I think a character like Rydia is actually perfect, because when I did Rydia and the duo with Balthier back when for, what was it, it was a 6-man. That was one of the harder parts of Defo. What I realized with Rydia is that she complements the units like Squall super well, just because her FR conditions are absolutely crazy and you get this up a ridiculously high amount really fast. So for a fight like this in Dare Defy, we're already at 300% 9 turns and only 2 units. It's pretty good. And here we actually do want to break them out of order just so they can take more turns. And yeah, just having Rydia as a duo, she's honestly a really busted unit. Just what she's able to accomplish just on her own, just with her FR being really good. Not even just for off-turn comps, but just for, this is more a mixed kind of comp, where it's there's no real off-turn damage going on. It's just her FR allowing the enemy to take turns really bumps this up like crazy. And that really helps for a character like Squall, who wants the on-turn percentage to be really high so he can take advantage of his EX. Just a very good unit. Rydia definitely deserved her spell on my roster, and when I gemmed her FR, man, was she putting in work. And now I think it's just a matter of when these snakes will die. And it probably won't be that, I think this will probably be a 2 FR run. Just because that's just the nature of these 2 units. Rydia, let's go ahead and single target. Just because I think this also isn't high turn rate move. And, you know, just keeping the break turn order is pretty important. Okay, see, already 700%. No echoes used yet. We probably will use one echo here and then another echo on the second FR time. Like, I can just like spam echoes if I really wanted to. But I don't think that's gonna actually kill these guys. So, you know, I'd rather just wait till I just spread out my damage. It's not a race. I think we have, what, 65 turns or something? Pretty lenient fight in terms of turn count. It's not like the Iris fight where, you know, we only had 35 turns and we had to make it work. A bugger. Yeah, speaking of EX spammers, I did get Lightning's full kit. I finally got her BT. Like, her BT has been dodging me for so long. I think, are they out of, yeah, they're out of Freyfroth, so what I actually want to do here is use Radiant Breath. And that's just because they could actually hit us again. And we're going to try and avoid the debuff as best as we can. These guys do debuff every now and then, but it's not like a super detrimental debuff. They only do like 4k damage or so. And I think the HP threshold is like 10,000, 8,000? Let me go check. 8,000, yeah, so nothing, you know, super crazy or anything. I think I will EX. And then on Squall's upcoming turn we'll use an Echo. And then we'll probably just summon so we can retain some damage. 23 million. Injure Lamau. Oh wow, they targeting Rydia again? They really wanted to injure her. You bastards. Okay, she'll be fine. Here. Yeah, let's go ahead and use one Echo. I'm wondering if Bahamut's summon was correct. Maybe I could have gone with a character like Alexander, just so I could get the heal if I needed it. Like, I do just have like passive healing because I have like the gold U1 buff on both. So we should be fine on turn. So here, let's go ahead and use Bahamut while we have the gauge. Yeah, extra 9 million there. And I think here we're actually going to use a Crystal Ability Attack. I don't use this one super often, but I think here's a good spot. Just because this decreases the gauge by 50, and that's exactly how much Rydia actually increases it on turn. So, you know, that actually works out quite nicely, the math there. We got like a lot of extra damage on turn there. That was like 9 million plus another 9, and then the final attack. So, pretty good, pretty good. Here, we're juiced up with the Bahamut and we're juiced up with our BT, so let's just spam EX some more. Oh, and I actually did get my, I got an adapter for my Xbox controller. That came in the mail today, so I'm super excited, you know. Goes to some IRL Tekken 8 tournaments when that drops. I do have to like update the firmware for it real quick, but once I do that, you know, I'm just gonna go over to a friend's house and test it on his PS5 and we should be good to go. Damage is split a little unevenly. That will be fine. Let's see. We still have the EX from Squall. That worked out perfectly. Kinda have half a mind to go into Sid Reigns into BT effect, because I think we'll be at force time by the time we exit, so yeah, maybe that's a good idea. And we were just able to spam EX this whole time. Extra 3 million. I'm just afraid if they jump here, that might be an issue. Well, even if they do, Sid Reigns will bring them up, so that's not a big deal. Or he'll bring Rydia up, and he has the other status call, which just does do critical damage. And that'll be important just in case they like jump up and pass this threshold. They didn't. Artifact. Now with that, we just go ahead and go into Squall's burst time real quick. Or his burst mode. I said burst time. I haven't been playing that much defense, but it's fine. You don't need that much real planning and thought for these fights. I've noticed it's like, you can kind of just, you know, you can figure it out in a few tries. And I think Squall doesn't get free skill uses, but he restores skill uses with his LB, I believe. because we're out of these. EX. And really, just the Sid Rain's call was just to add the extra damage to this BT phase with the retain. Badoosh. EX charge. Oh, that was actually pretty nice. Because now I don't actually have to do LD to restore the other uses. And it's weird too, because you would think you'd want more LD uses off Squall. Like, there's a Black Crystal passive that gives you 2 more LD uses, but it reduces your EX damage, which Squall kind of wants to do, because, you know, he's, like, with his BT effect, he can just spam EX like crazy. So getting that LD +2 actually reduces the damage off that by 20% each time. Or not each time, but 20% every time you do the EX, so, you know, not nearly as strong. So it's kind of awkward for Squall in terms of passives. But they're already at the red, you know, just with all the extra damage we're able to do with the Crystal passive and summon. And then after this fight, the next fight should actually be a harder one. It should be the Hell House, but I'll figure that out, like, over the weekend. You know, I'm still a little sick. My throat's feeling a lot better, but now I'm just like, I have a lot of fatigue. Like, I've been feeling tired. But this morning hasn't been too bad. It's actually been pretty good. Let's see, do they cross their threshold? Not even close. So, good for us. And right now we're just gonna try and break B first, so you know the order just keeps going in front of each other. See if we can just stay in front of them, basically. And too bad we never got Rydia FR. We never got to see that funny looking whale. Here. Yeah, this fight basically should be cooked for the most part, you know. Squall just chopping up some snakes real quick. And I think once this is done, and there's only 2 more fights, you know, we'll be 14 out of 21. That's over, you know, well over halfway. And we've done pretty good so far, at least I think in terms of like the box. Like haven't overextended, like I still have plenty of FR Echo units, I still have plenty of just quote-unquote meta units, a lot of damage dealers. So I'm feeling good in that regard. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty comfortable going into the last set of fights, like 6 and 7. We might bring out some more threatening units for the next 2 fights. 16 million. Yeah, Squall definitely operates best with just everything going his way. He's very selfish damage dealer. Like, man, he doesn't want to help the party at all. He's like, just make sure he has the percentage and he'll be good. Doesn't need anything else. Bagoosh. Yeah, but Rydia definitely a great character. I have 1 turn left or something? What is that? Water enchant? I thought she was already water enchanting off her LD. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh yeah, this fight, you know. It had like 1 mechanic really, and that was just do crit damage. And they do also like have this debuff that like injures you for a little bit. Yeah, this injure debuff, but you know, we're just dodging everything, so we're not in any real danger there. And yeah, this is basically just gonna be the fight. For the most part, DFFOO has been a very fun experience, but it's getting close to the end. We can feel it, we can see it. The Squall is just doing what he needs to.